Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on Toned In Entertainment where we love pop culture. Today, it's time for another comic book review. Now, when we left off with issue number 2, we saw Jim taking quite the free fall after an encounter with Gillian's sister, Delia. Will Gillian be able to make the rescue of Jim before he becomes roadkill? Well, let's get on with my comic book review for Chariot Issue number 3. As Jim continues his free fall, Gillian breaks more than just a few rules as she's able to create a soft landing for this cowboy. Now, Jim might have survived that free fall, but now he finds himself in the middle of a police standoff. But for Jim, he's reached his boiling point and all he wants to do is surrender at this point. But Gillian is very persuasive in getting Jim back into the car by telling him that if he doesn't cooperate with her, neither his ex-wife Saidie nor his son will be safe, and the only true thing he needs to do right now is trust her. Because of the fall, Gillian's navigation system has been damaged, so it will be Jim that will have to take control. And as Jim puts the pedal to the metal, this might be the first time in his life that he has full control in his life as he makes a mad dash through a blockade. Now, I had just said that Jim was in full control, and already Gillian is gonna prove me wrong as she unleashes a secret weapon from the back of the car that shoots down the helicopter that is in pursuit. Jim then goes through a roller coaster of emotions from this tragedy, but Gillian will tell him it's best he floors it so, number 1, she doesn't have to do it again, and number 2, so that she can fill him in on her past as well as his future. Now, while Jim and Gillian head off to safer pastures, it's now going to be Saidie who finds herself in hot water as she's being questioned by the authorities as to the whereabouts of Jim. And as these men really put the pressure on Saidie to spill the beans, this is when she demands to see her son. And that's when one of the men says, let's tell her about her son. And as we go to the next page, that's where we see Delia has him as her prisoner. Now, Delia does make it known that she has no intentions of hurting the boy unless it comes down to that. And what she really seeks is the immortality that her sister has. Now, over these next 2 pages, that's where we're going to get quite a bit of backstory of the sisters Delia and Gillian. That growing up, neither of these twin sisters knew their parents. They were essentially trained as soldiers for whomever required their services. And it was Delia who convinced Gillian that they should break any ties with any of their associations because she believed no one could stop them. Now, we will find out that during the car chase we saw back in issue number 1, that's when Gillian achieved digital immortality. But that's the power that Delia seeks, a life with no end in sight, and she'll do whatever it takes to achieve it. And even though it would seem Gillian would have the advantage, what sways things in Delia's favor is that she doesn't have a conscience. Jim does ask Gillian this important question. Since Delia would be around 70 years old, how does she move like a cyber ninja? Gillian will simply put it that she found some resources. Now, before any more can be learned, a car heads in their way, and jumping out of this car will be a frantic Saidie who breaks the news to Jim that she has our son. On the next page, Gillian and Saidie will sort of have a heart-to-heart where she tells him Jim will need her support more than ever. Once Gillian is done talking to Saidie, she heads out to talk to Jim, where he asks her how serious the danger that his son is in. Gillian tells him that his son will be fine until Delia gets what she wants, and that's her. Now we're going to go back to the reoccurring theme here in this issue, and that is trust, because for Jim, he's really going to have to put his trust in Gillian as he becomes just like her. However, Gillian warns Jim what he's about to go through will be unlike anything he could have ever imagined, and that he's not going to like her when she's done. However, when she's done with him, he'll be reborn, and the one thing that she's going to need from him is everything. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give Chariot issue number 3 a 9.5, as this was my favorite issue thus far. From the opening pages straight out of an action movie, to the emotion of Saidie realizing what has happened to her son, to Jim having to do whatever it'll take to get his son back, and even seeing Delia deal with the moral dilemma of kidnapping the boy, writer Brian Edward Hill, artist Priscilla Petrades, and colorist Marco Lesko continue to take Chariot on a fast-paced ride, and I'm absolutely loving it. Alright guys, well that's going to wrap up my comic book review for Chariot issue number 3. Now I know my background here is a little bland. It doesn't have all the fun Funko Pops, but a new background is coming. I just did move and I am working on getting that set up. So hopefully for issue number 4, I'll have some more fun in the background. Alright guys, if you like comic book reviews like this, make sure you subscribe here to Toned In Entertainment for future videos.
Subscribe to the channel. Do it. Go now. Do it now.